Can we do something about this trolling behavior with him sticking that thing into the screen?
Yeah, please don't.
Joe got bounced once before for trolling. He's trolling again. He's being an asshole.
Joe, please don't.
Which is not surprising.
All right, let's do this minute. I don't want to keep Fox on the line here.
Okay, good. Okay, now, when we speak or define of God, we are only speaking in an analogous way. We cannot speak in, I believe the word is, what is it, a unanimical way? So we can only speak by way of an analogy. So that poses no problem to God having a mind, because that does not necessarily entail that God's mind or thoughts have to be successive. It may be the case that within our uniform experience that our minds operate in a successive fashion. But he is attempting to smuggle in an inductive argument that the way we understand minds, or the minds that we experience operate in a successive way, would necessitate that God's mind would have to operate in a successive way, i.e. in terms of temporality. So basically he's making a veiled inductive argument which is not logically necessitated.
Okay, that's 1 minute. Fox, if you're there, you got a minute.
Okay, good. Yeah, this again, this attempt to distract with the red herring of me making an inductive argument. I'm basically asking Dawkins to basically show how it is the case that you can have a mind that and still be a mind, still correlate with what we think a mind is, which has thoughts which don't have succession, and how it is that you can have one thought changing to another one, which is a change, and this mind is supposedly also unchanging, which is an additional problem, and it still be a mind. It seems to be an inherent quality of thoughts. This seems to be what we mean by the definition of a thought, is that, you know, it takes place in time, and that it changes, and what we mean by consciousness or a mind as a collection of thoughts is that it involves some kind of order or succession. Now, if you have moments, events, if thoughts are like events and they change from one thought to another, that seems to be time by what Dawkins has just outlined as time to be. So I'm not even arguing from logical necessity. I'm just trying to point out that this idea is incoherent and not particularly well evidenced or plausible or intuitive.
All right, let's give him a minute to reply.
Okay, what Fox is arguing for as incoherent is because what he's saying is our understanding of inductively, and he doesn't want to use the term, but that's exactly what he's doing. He's talking about the minds that he is acquainted with. Therefore, what he's concluding inductively, that because of all of the minds that we know of operate the same way, therefore all minds must operate that way. That's begging the question. All right? He can't demonstrate that through an inductive process. The only way that he could do so would be to define it that way. And you see, that's very easy to dismantle and just say, I don't accept your definition. As I said before, and it went right over his head, when we speak of God or we define God, we are doing so by means of analogy. Okay? We're not speaking about God in a, I believe the term, as I said it before, in a unanimical way. So the bottom line is this, is I do not define time in the same way you do. People define time as the order of events, and events is referring to materiality. So your argument is an inductive one, and it fails.
All right, before you reply, Fox, I would like to just say that, at least from my perspective here, I feel like Fox is saying, how then would you describe? I feel like, Dawkins, that you're talking about time, but I feel like Fox is talking about, okay, if he's outside of time, how does he have these thoughts and such? Okay, my point is, I don't know if you were exactly answering his question.
No, he didn't, and it's my time to respond. Again, I'm not arguing from induction. I'm arguing. Well, my argument is that. You know, Dawkins talks about analogy. It seems to me that there's a fundamental disanalogy with what we mean by minds, right? Which is that they have temporal succession to temporal succession of thoughts. He says that time is an order of events. Okay, well, thoughts are distinct, discrete states. You might call them events. It seems that a succession of thoughts would be a succession of events, which would be temporal. So, in a way, by his own definition of time, it seems to be that if he wants to say that God has timelessly a succession of thoughts, that would invoke time. It's incoherent. Now, if he wants to say that God doesn't have thoughts, now I would find that to be even worse, because I mean thoughts seem to be an inherent component of mind, right? Then maybe he could go down that direction, but he's not doing that. He's sticking to his guns and saying that God has thoughts. Somehow he has a succession of thoughts outside of time, but at the same time, time is a succession of events.
Okay,
so
that's 1 minute.
There are events, and events are discrete states of affairs.
Okay.
Thoughts are a discrete state of affairs.
Okay.
A series of events is a discrete
Fox,
series
that's
of
1 minute, bro.
states
That's
of
1
affairs.
minute.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
1 minute.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's let him just reply. How about this? After he replies, then I'll just open it up for both of you.
Yeah, again, he's doing the same thing again. He's using an inductive argument in the way he understands minds operating. Either he's going to be doing so definitionally, or he's going to be doing so experientially. All right? It's that simple. It's either or both. Now, the fact of the matter is, one could posit the idea that all of God's thoughts neither precede or occur after, that they are all, I'll use the term simultaneous, although some people might object to that term, that they are concurrent. Neither one precedes or comes after. So that would not pose a problem. So his only argument would be definitional, that it wouldn't fit with a definition, or that based upon the way we know minds. This argument is going around and around in circles. Now, when theologians and Christians speak of God being timeless, it just simply means that he is independent of the
That was 1 minute.
That was 1 minute.
material succession.
Okay,
1 minute, bro.
one of the big problems is that Dawkins has just said that God's thoughts could be simultaneous. Now, put aside for the fact that this doesn't seem to be what a mind is. It's some kind of simultaneous. I mean, it just seems bizarre. Simultaneity seems to presuppose time. How do you have atemporal simultaneity? This doesn't make any sense. It just makes the problem worse. And I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this is not an inductive argument. At no point have I made an argument saying something along the lines of, you know, all known mind are temporal, therefore every mind is temporal. I have not said that. What I'm saying is it's his burden of proof to show me how something can be a mind, have succession of thoughts, which seems to be what we mean by the term mind, and it to be atemporal or timeless. He hasn't done that. He just keeps accusing me of either begging the question of what time means. I mean, we didn't get any response to my suggestion that, you know, he even defines time as a series of discrete states of affairs, what he calls events, and I say, well, a mind is a series of thoughts which are discrete states of affairs.
Hey,
so it seems to me that that a mind, by his own lights, would presuppose time.
Hey, Fox, we're not doing the 1 minute thing now. So
Okay.
feel free
Okay,
to,
yeah.
But look, I want to say something.
I'd like
Hold
a
on,
chance
please.
to respond.
Yeah, sure. But just,
Hang on.
I just want to say something real quick. In a few minutes, this wasn't the original intent of this hangout, so I'm gonna want to interject in a minute or so or a few to get back to the point of what the hangout was. But feel free to have your your back and forth for now. But I just want to let you know I want to jump in at some point and do what the main point of the hangout was.
Well,
no, you had your chance. It's my turn to speak.
Oh,
okay? You were given.
Fox, you're being very rude.
Hey, by the way, thanks for letting me cut in.
Yeah, it's my turn. Okay, so basically what Fox is doing is he's regurgitating the very same thing that he has said 3 times over, and I will say what I said over again. His argument is either definitional and base, or it would be an inductive from his from his observation or experience. He said, this does not seem right because of the way we understand minds to operate. That would be an inductive argument, unless he wants to otherwise say this is how it's defined. He would then have to argue that his definition is the only correct one. The fact of the matter is, it is certainly possible for God to have all thoughts being concurrent. Now, I don't know that that's necessarily the case, but it may be. And all such definitions and descriptions of God are in the form of an analogy. All theologians recognize this.
Yes, but the problem is with
I'm not done yet.
Well, hurry up.
I'm not done yet.
Hurry up.
Hey,
Okay,
you could be a jerk to me, but Fox has been nothing but nice.
I'm not done yet. Okay, good.
He's been nothing but nice. Don't be a jerk to him.
Shut your mouth, Joe.
Don't be a jerk to him.
Joe, shut up.
Let me do the muting. Let me do the muting, please. Otherwise, I could.
Okay, well, tell Joe to shut his fat trap.
Joe, please let them.
Yep, you got to say shut your fat trap to me.
No, Joe, this is not the transvestite room.
The obnoxious one comes on.
Oh, fuck off.
All right,
The
Fox.
transvestite room.
Hey, Fox and Dawkins, you guys, feel free to have a back and forth. Dawkins doesn't want to be interrupted, but Fox wants you to hurry up. So,
yeah. Obviously, they took this for the transvestite room.
In the meantime, I just want to let everyone.
Really classy
Hold
there.
on. All right. Okay, guys. Okay, guys.
Somebody with a penis who dressed like a
All right,
woman.
I'm in the middle of a sentence. I'd like to finish the sentence, please. So look, can we just leave them alone to discuss what they're going to discuss for a few minutes, and then I want to change it back to what at least briefly for what I wanted to talk about upon opening this hangout. But for now, you guys do your thing.
Good. So we're just going around like a dog chasing its tail. Fox is just repeating the same thing he said before, that the way we understand minds to be. He is making an inductive argument. Otherwise, he's making a case based upon definition. Now, if it's not based upon an inductive argument, if it's not based in an a posteriori way, I hope I pronounced that right.
A posteriori.
A posteriori, thank you. Then it would be in an a priori way, right? Now, which is it, Fox? Is it definitional, or is it the other?
Well, I'm not making an a priori argument. But
Okay.
The thing is, no. Let me answer your question.
Is it the other?
Isn't this? Well, definition. Do you think definitions? Do you think the definition of
other?
Can you answer my question?
Shut your mouth, Joe.
Let me answer your question then. Do you not think that? God, you made me lose my place. So, do you not think that definitions are arrived at by a posteriori experiences of things? Okay. So, what we mean by a house is what we encounter houses in the world, and we find out that there are similarities between certain types of buildings, and we define it as a house. Now, this is not. You've made no substantive rebuttals to what I've put forward. I want to understand. No, I want to understand. Okay, how it is that it's interesting that you dropped the term simultaneity, because I think you realise that it is inherently a temporal word. Now, how you can have you can lay claim to a temporal concept and use it in a timeless concept.
Oh yeah, sure I can.
It makes no sense. It's incoherent.
Sure, it does make sense.
So how do you have?
It can mean.
Let me finish. Okay. How can you have simultaneous thoughts occurring outside of time if simultaneity is a temporal concept?
Because I'm using the term simultaneity to mean concurrent, that both things neither precede...
happen at the same time.
Excuse me, shut your mouth and don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Okay?
That happened at the same time.
I said before that some people might object. Shut your mouth. Interrupt me one more time, and I will no longer respond to you. I'm getting tired of you interrupting me. Okay? Now, as I said, some people might object to the word simultaneity, and I inserted another word, since they object to that, would be to be concurrent. Now, in theology, God is okay. Fuck you. You're done. I'm no longer responding to you. You're an asshole. No, you're a complete asshole because you're persistent in interrupting me. You're trolling me. Fox, can you silence him? Wait, hold on a second. He is trolling.
Yeah, no, hold on. Fox, what's so hard about not interrupting? You interrupted.
Yeah.
Don't get butthurt.
No. I'm not. You know what? I'm done dealing with Fox because he will not stop interrupting me,
All right.
and it's a form of trolling.
All right, so look, let's